Hello everyone, George here, Catholic Positive Energy. I've been waiting more than 12 years to visit my grandparents' grave. I'm here at Arlington National Cemetery here in Arlington, Virginia. This is the grave of my grandfather. His name was George Goodsaid. Yes, I'm named after him. I'm actually named after both of my grandfathers. His name was George Herman Goodsaid. He served in the Army. Well, he just did 3 years and got out in 1942 when he was 21. Born September 16th, 1921, died June 30th, 1962. And there's also some names on the back of the grave here. Also is my grandmother, Laura Dudzik Goodsaid. That's what the D stands for, her maiden name. Born March 12, 1925. Died June 30th, 1962. As well as my late uncle, Donald Jacobs Goodsaid. Born July 12, 1948. Died June 30th, 1962. Now, here's the story. My dad lost his parents when he was 5 years old. I'll just try to roll through the sad parts quickly. One time, when my dad was 5 years old, he and his parents and their half-brother, my uncle Donald right here is from my grandmother's first marriage, they were going to visit her parents, his grandparents on his mom's side. And I know this happened somewhere in Pennsylvania. This happened 61 years ago, 1962. And, well, none of us will ever know the full facts, but their car was on the train tracks. And just to make a long story short, the train hit their car. And my dad and my other uncle survived, but his parents, my grandparents, and my late uncle did not. And yeah, my dad lost a spleen and a kidney. His parents and half-brother, my other uncle, just got a concussion. But yeah, my dad survived. But yeah, this is why he lost his family at such a young age. And now I live in California, born and raised. I don't get to travel much. I just got on a plane yesterday for the first time in 25 years. And for more than 12 years, since I really started studying my family history about 12 and a half years ago, I've been wanting to come here. And I'm finally here. Now, forgive me if I get a little emotional. This is going to be by far my favorite broadcast of all time here on Catholic Positive Energy. It's also going to be a little bit sorrowful. And what's funny is, I'll just say this. When my parents got here just a little while ago, now obviously there's a lot of graves here, and we were just at this information office at the front there at the cemetery, and we had a hard time finding the grave. But luckily, there's numbers on the back of these graves, and they gave us some little parking slip with a bunch of numbers on the back, and that's the only reason I found this grave. I came from all the way over here, and I was looking at the numbers as they got higher, and then I finally found my family's grave right here. Now, many of you, I'm sure there's some grandparents watching, and obviously all of you watching, you obviously have grandparents. I never knew my grandparents on my dad's side. I wish I did. And for those of you who are on my dad's side of the family who have been following me on Facebook, for the past couple of years, I'm sure you see me post a lot of things about my late grandparents whenever it's their birthdays or death anniversaries. But like I said, I never knew my grandparents on my dad's side, and my dad barely even remembers his parents because he was 5 years old when that happened. So, you know, for all of you who have had, you know, the luxury of knowing your grandparents on both sides of your family, you're very blessed. I wish I knew them, but, you know, but I'm glad that I'm finally here, 61 years after they've been buried here. I'm sure that I would have gotten along great with my grandpa. I spoke with some family members who are no longer with us, but when they were, I talked with them, and yeah, my grandpa was in the Army for 3 years right out of high school, and then I know he also eventually worked as a teacher and then a cab driver. And I think my grandmother was a teacher at one time, but I think eventually she became a stay-at-home mom. And my uncle, my dad's late half-brother, he was only 13. He would have been 14 in 2 weeks. So, yeah, I've always been a little sad about the fact that I never knew them. So for all of you who know all your grandparents, or if you still have all of your grandparents here right now, you're very lucky. You're very blessed, even though you may not always realize it. Knowing what I never had, what I wish I had, but I don't have. I used to always think a long time about, visiting this grave. And yeah, it's it's nice to finally be here. Truly is. And this is obviously something I'll never forget. But yes, even though I never knew my grandparents and Uncle Donald, I do miss them. I hope one day I will meet them in heaven. But no, this has been an amazing day. But yes, this by far is my most famous broadcast. This is called Remembering Loved Ones. You know why I'm saying that? We all have some loved ones who are no longer with us. Many of us we knew personally. I never knew them. And I know this simply here, my grandfather was Jewish. But yes, I certainly have a lot of pictures and memories of him and my late grandmother and my Uncle Donald. I'm sure if Uncle Donald lived, I'd probably have more cousins today. But like I say, cherish some of the older members of your family and just be blessed that you have them. Because, there are some people out there like me who never knew some of their loved ones. But I'm just glad that I'm finally here. I got really emotional when I was walking up and I first saw back here when I saw this, because obviously I had pictures of this grave, and when I saw this, that's when I just stopped me in my tracks. I'm like, oh my gosh, there it is. I know we just had Veterans Day recently, so yes, we obviously need to remember veterans, loved ones. This is the time when you remember loved ones, but I feel like I'm going on and on. This is a very special, very amazing day for me, and I'm glad that my mom and dad were here. It's been probably it's been a long time since my dad's been here. But yes, remembering loved ones. Hopefully there are some things you get to do in your lives similar to this that you'll eventually get done. And I'm just glad that I'm finally here. So this is a short broadcast. Obviously, unfortunately, I don't have the Chinese waterfall, and obviously I'm not in my living room. I'm on location. By the way, here's something else I want to point out. This is the first time I've ever had a broadcast in Virginia. I know I pretty much do all my broadcasts in my living room back in California. I know I've done some in Las Vegas when I was on vacation. This is my first one here in Virginia. So this is also quite an amazing new accomplishment here and a very wonderful new experience here. But I'm going to just sit here for a few minutes, say some prayers, talk to them. But yes, thank you for being here with me. This is a very special day for me, and this is something I've been wanting to do for such a long time. I'm glad that I'm finally here. So, take care, God bless, and remember your loved ones. And remember, dignification is better than criticism. Live life to the fullest.